But yeah, so Trinity came out and she looked incredible. She did still bring the glow with her. She was lit up and she looked fantastic, and the fans were super into her. I'm so glad that she got to debut in front of that crowd because they were 100% behind her, and they got like a "Feel the Glow" chant going
Nice.
while Deonna was talking, because she came to. So basically, Trinity came to reintroduce herself, and she talked about why she wanted to be in the Impact Knockouts division, because she's like, this has been a great division for years. You have Awesome Kong, you've had Gail Kim, now you have Deonna and Jordan, and and Mickey James is in this division, and so. And she was like, and I've won championships, and I'm here for more championships.
Nice.
But yeah, she looked great, and I thought it was really cool to see how they positioned her right off the bat. Like, they made her feel like the whole show, they kept teasing like, Trinity's here, we're making history. Like, they just really hyped her up,
That's
just
awesome.
leading up to it. Like, she's already got a shirt out. In WWE, that was a big thing where it was hard to get merch for her. Trinity released a shirt last week, and I saw that people were like getting, because she was retweeting stuff. People were getting, some of them got their shirts the day after. Like,
Yeah,
it's
well, it makes
insane.
sense. I mean, if WWE wasn't stocking WWE is notorious for not stocking things like that. I mean, like, they don't capitalize on merch ideas a lot.
Mhm.
Even John Moxley's talked about that in the
Right.
past. Like,
Right. Yeah.
so
They're
that's
so
awesome.
so I'm glad, like, she got a shirt right off the bat. It looks
Yay.
great. Lauren Moran, who's designed a lot of wrestling shirts, she is the one who did the design for it. It looks awesome. And so yeah, it was really cool. And I think it was funny because somebody tweeted, was responding to me, because I just said that I watched Trinity's debut and I would talk about it more tomorrow. And they basically said everything I was already thinking and was planning to say on here, was like, they positioned her huge. Like, they had Deonna come out, and that's the first person who introduced herself to her on TV, because Deonna is obviously the current champion. Jordynne Grace came out there. So they've already put her in a spot where she's with the top two women in the entire division already. Like, right off the bat, she's in the same conversation as them, even if it may take her a little bit to get to that position. Like, she's already, like, they've put her in such a strong position. And because Deonna and Jordan are wrestling at Under Seige next month, which the paper that was already announced prior to Trinity getting there. But the stipulation is, if Jordan loses, she cannot challenge for the Knockouts title as long as Deonna has it. A lot of people believe that this is a stipulation where she is actually going to leave the company, because her contract is supposedly up unless she signed an extension that nobody knows about. Or she signs it by then. People seem to think that, okay, well, if she loses and can't challenge for the title, there's nothing left for her to do. Which is she really, unless they're gonna let her go for Steve Macklin and let her have that title, there's not really much else for Jordan to do, unless she, I would love to see Jordan go to Japan. Like, I think she would kill it over there. Like, I think even if it's not Stardom, just going over there, I think would be really cool for her. But regardless, like, so Trinity's already in this spot, whether Jordan leaves or not. And she's already said, like, whoever wins this title, I'm waiting for you.
Right.
So, and like, she's got, we know, I think most people saw her first match will be again. I I don't know if it airs next week or if it's going to air the week after, because they didn't promote it for next week. But she did wrestle Kylan King, who was one half of the Coven, which is, they're the current Knockouts Tag Team Champions, which we talked about last week. Would be great if they just put Trinity with somebody like Tasha Steelz and gave her and let her have the tag team titles right off the bat. Would be my kind of petty if they let that happen, but who knows. But they made her feel like a star right off the bat, and Grace says she deserves it, and she 100% does. I was really, really happy. It's just great to see her back on TV, especially with everything that she went through. Oh, and I will say, Deonna did make a little snipe at her and say that she can't just walk out that's not a division you can walk out on. I was like, oh boy. And then so Trinity went right back at her and said, well, when I get done with you, you're going to wish you were fired again. So they got in their nice little jabs, but it was a really great segment. I thought she did great. She looks really happy. The fans were into it. So I'm really happy for her. And I hope she flourishes in the Impact Knockouts division, because it's a strong. People fuss and say, oh, I can't believe she went to Impact because they don't have a great TV presence or the crowds are small, but division wise, they're one of the strongest women's divisions there is, and so she was very smart to pick that division, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it may be on an obscure TV show, but it's not on or a obscure TV channel,
right?
But it's not like a bad place for her to be as a lady trying to reinvent her.
Right.
What am I now?
Right. Exactly.
Plus, like you said, all the crossover stuff, because Impact has deals. I mean, it's on New Japan World. I can watch it, so that's a lot of opportunities.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, and she's already bringing in more eyeballs. Like, people are gonna start subscribing and finding ways to watch Impact so that they can see her, and they're more than likely gonna try to, they'll buy the pay-per-views and things like that. So they're doing exactly like they thought she would, which is bringing her in. They knew was gonna, just like Mercedes brought more eyeballs to New Japan. That's the same thing they're betting on with Trinity, and so far it seems like it's working. And I think it'll only do, the more she develops herself there and figures out who she is outside of Naomi. Like, I think her fans are gonna help support her and hopefully bring more eyeballs to what she's doing over there.
Yeah,
which is great for everybody.